fast on the road. Stood at 0 below for the dinero. Rather freeze to death before I be broke. Sacrifice my life to get my foot in the door. Now I got the keys to the city, I can open doors. Running that bag up is my only goal. Fuck dying poor, rather be old. Whipping a rose, traveling the globe.
There's always a destiny. For every move, you got to pay for keeps. Keeping my head high towards the sky. Forever I will be the one and only. Thank God for me. 3 daddies, 1 mama. Tell me, what is this? Who would've ever thought that this what the world was gonna get? A young black man standing with my 10 toes down. They say what goes around and what goes up must come down. Relate, create, and make a sound decision. Stacking your paper up, showing love, raising your children. For copping sets and guns, it's time to count some buildings. Entrepreneuring your talents, making an honest.
I'm out here.
Only phone, the radio, or the TV screen. When you leave, you alone. It's hard to be real with them, knowing they don't wanna see you. I come from the ghetto with my partners me.
We out here.
Get it out the mud to feed my mama.
I'm in the mud.
Ooh, I'm on the ass. God, they put me last. I'm finna come first. Finna get a word with her.
Didn't choose this fast lane at the start of my roots. Bells at grandma's basement, bricks of Pablo stashed in the roof. Product of pure Idaho, shooters on the roof. My uncle was Nino, other projects, young bishop with the juice. Love him to the death of me. I study his every move. Now I'm like Ghost with the powder. I'm like Tommy with the tool. The pressure we apply, it comes with the rules. Don't jump off the porch if you can't follow the clues. I follow masterminds like Prim Rogers, the real king of the loot. And if it's fuck him, may God bless you.
Cash Money AP.
I'm addicted to you. All the things that you do, when you do what you do. I'm addicted to you, baby, and I don't know what to do. I'm addicted to you, baby, 'cause I can't stop thinking of you. I'm addicted to you. All the things that you do, when you do what you do.
The type I always dream for. If I had you, it'd be greed. If I thought I need more. Love your patience, free spirit, and ambitions for more. Understand I go hard, focused on a bigger score. You and I is what I take these risks for. Don't wanna see you spend your whole life scrubbing floors. Rather see you sliding across marble floors. Been at peace ever since I found me a more. Make me wanna settle down, stop chasing whores. I'm hearing wedding bells, never felt like this before. You give me peace in the midst of war. 'Cause I'm addicted to you, baby, and you got me fiending for more.
Purchase your tracks today.
This country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman. That's why you gotta make your own move.
First you get the money, and then you get the power.
Purchase your tracks
Mix it all together. Now the whole world is ours. First you get the money, and then you get the power. Mix it all together. Now the whole world is ours. I say the whole world. First you get the money, then you get the You get out this game what you put in, so I'm investing every hour. Stack up $500,000, watch these dirty hands in the shower. We was broke until we put our hands on that powder. Racks on top of racks, now we connected on that flower. Stacked up $100 grand in 96 hours. On this road to riches, it's been a rocky road. Everybody hands was out, couldn't trust a soul. Backstabbers chasing my pot of gold. I won't stop till my vault filled with blocks of gold. Niggas breaking the codes, couldn't trust these hoes. She wasn't loving me, she was in love with the dough. Going all out for the power of the cash flow. Can't knock a motherfucker for one more. Can't sleep when it's starving, gotta go. The top been waiting on me. Gotta stay on this road, stick to the script, and follow the code. First you get the money, and then you get the power. Mix it all together.
What's up? It is your girl, Miss Kiwi, in the building, along with my co-host.
Last 747, what up?
And of course, you know we got Mrs. Mink out of the ATL. She will be joining us.
Straight out of the
What's
ATL.
What's up? How is everybody doing on this evening?
Blessed.
Tune in. Join in. I don't know, but we can check it out and see. I don't know. We got an echo. No. That's just on the. That's on the line. That's not my phone. But anyway, we're gonna keep on moving on along, y'all. We got a great show for y'all this evening. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. What y'all think about that? I know a lot of us probably done checked ourselves and wrecked ourselves.
Most definitely. You know how it used to be said in the old school, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah.
You better check yourself before somebody else check you.
Okay. So it'll be good if you do.
That's right.
But we got a great show, so if you want to tune in, call in 515-599-1687. Mr. Miyagi, I don't think you need to come check this out, baby. That is going to be annoying today. Yeah, we got an echo going on. We got to find out what that is, because that's annoying. Yes, it's annoying. I don't know, but we got to figure it out. It's echoing. But anyway, y'all, tune on in to this great show today. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Call in, because I know we all done wrecked ourselves and checked ourselves. So, Miss Meg, what you got?
Well, let me ask you something. What does it mean to check yourself before you wreck yourself? Let's start off there.
Well, checking yourself means that me, look and see what I'm doing wrong and check that. You know, whatever it is. You know, if it needs to be checked, then I need to check it. Because I definitely don't need nobody else to check it. Yes. That's really annoying. Miss Mink, can you hear me?
No, just keep talking.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So anyway. So checking yourself is the man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror. That's checking yourself. What that mean to you, Fast Lane?
Well, it means before you could blame anybody else for your downfalls, your bad days, what part did you play in it? And that's when you learn from it, you know what I mean? A lot of times the bad days can be the most valuable lessons that's way more valuable than the little process you had to go through it, you know what I mean? And that's looking in that man in that mirror. Me, myself, checking myself is taking time out, polishing my own flaws before somebody else have to tell me about them. You know what I mean? Because we know when we out of pocket, you know what I mean? And we know when we ain't on point. So you have to look in that man in that mirror on a regular.
Exactly.
Nobody's perfect. But we all can strive for perfection by getting things together that we know ain't right. You know what I mean? You ain't got to wait for nobody to tell you ain't right. You feel it. Your spirit going to tell you ain't right, you know?
That's right. So what that mean to you, Miss Mink?
Well, kind of alluding to what you both stated, paying attention to how you feel on an emotional, mental, and physical level. Asking yourselves questions and setting aside time to check in with yourself regularly. When you check in with yourself regularly, you can reveal a lot of things that we don't pay attention to on a daily basis. But when you check yourself, like Fastlane stated, looking at that man in the mirror, what image are you seeing on that other side in that mirror? So, yeah, check yourself regularly.
Most definitely. That means daily.
And that means it also goes back to spending more time with self. You know what I mean? Doing things that you like and realizing the things you don't like, because that's part of also checking yourself. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we'll be going along with things that ain't really good for us. And that plays a part of our reactions to other things. You know what I mean? So we got to get all the things that ain't good for us away from us. And even if it's ourself, you got to shake that self up inside of you and get that spirit up off of you. You know what I mean? Because most of the time it starts with self. A lot of things we see in this world is based off our perception of how we see it. How we think plays a major part of the things we see around us. You know what I mean? Because that's like somebody waking up saying, oh, it's a bad day today. When you speak that out, you're going to go looking for all the wrong things in that day to make that day a bad day. You know what I mean? And then you check yourself and say, I'm going to make this day a better day for me. I'm going to make it feel, I'm finna go do something I like. I don't care if it's going to get some ice cream or having a drink or whatever it is that make you feel better. And take your mind away from it, though. Don't do something that's going to dig it deeper, dig you into that lower self, you know what I mean? Do something that's going to make you feel good about yourself and change that day. And we got to learn how to do that on a regular. Like when you feel yourself going down that wrong road as far as in your mind, thinking about shit in the wrong way, you check yourself. You dig?
That's right. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like you stated, from those type of practices, when it is that you are checking yourself, then you also are taking those much needed actionable steps to address that reflection, that man in the mirror. I mean, I had, when I was in the office, I used to have a mirror on my desk because my senior manager used to tell me all the time, Michelle, those facial expressions, when it is that I guess some of my reps was taking me to a different level, it showed through my facial expressions, which caused some reactions from other people. So she used to tell me, she said, get that mirror, take that mirror out and put it up on your desk and look in it periodically. Look in it throughout the day and see what it is that you see staring back at you. And when you do, take action to check it.
We got a caller on the line.
All right.
Hello. Talk to us and we'll talk back.
Hey, how you doing? This is Cleophas.
What's going on, Mr. Cleophas?
I'm just calling in. I was watching y'all, seeing y'all talking about check yourself before you wreck yourself.
That's what's up.
What do you think about that? What does that mean to you?
What's sad for me, a lot of times you do have to check yourself. You do have to look at yourself, because a lot of times we just do things and we just move and rock a certain way and we set in our ways, but we don't realize that we doing shit that's kind of foul. You know what I mean? So it's just you paying attention to the way you move, and you just gotta pay more attention to the way you move.
So what is that? I mean, when you're paying more attention to the way that you move, what is the effect of that? What resolves it? What comes out of it?
Well, if you pay more attention to the way you move, then people around you will appreciate it more. I mean, like let me give you an example. Like for instance, you going into the club and stuff, and you always just walk past everybody. Don't never say nothing with your head all in the clouds. It's like you stuck up and shit, right? And then a motherfucker come to you and be like, damn, bro, why you be acting like that? What's good? And then you be like, what you talking about? But then you go in the club again and you catch yourself doing the same thing. And then you be like, hold up, I'm tripping. Let me speak to motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's checking yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me loosen up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how important is it to do it for yourself? Not just somebody else or what somebody else say. What about you? How important is it to do it for you?
Well, the overall goal is to be a better person.
Right. Sure.
And if somebody can give me some advice to make me a better person, then I'm gonna be a better person. You know what I'm saying? I got my little shooby doobies, and they be telling me different things. You know what I'm saying? You know. And hey, Kiwi, hey, Miss Me, hey.
Hey, so all right, so are you listening? You said that it's important that somebody else may tell you, because you may not see it for yourself. But
Exactly.
Are you making that change? Are you checking yourself?
Well, sometimes though you've been wrecked yourself before you get a chance to check yourself. You did?
Yeah. So So once sometimes, a lot of times, somebody does have to bring it to your attention. A lot of times we don't know because we set in our ways and we set in the way we move and maneuver. So we don't realize, So a lot of times we end up wrecking ourselves before we get a chance to check ourselves because we didn't peep it in the first place.
Right.
Okay.
But and that's the point of having people around you to keep you down to earth.
Yeah, real talk.
But you ain't gonna keep those people around you if it is that you ain't really checking yourself. When it is that somebody is giving you those pointers and those tips and letting you know.
Real talk.
You gotta be open to receive, though. That's the whole thing. You gotta be open to receive.
I just checked myself because I was gonna tell y'all I'm over here in baby hall.
Oh Lord! All right, well, we really appreciate you as usual calling in. But I think you need to check yourself right now because you're gonna
put some baby oil on the floor and fall.
I know you
like
like
you
that.
had a few cocktails. What you been over there nipping?
I was looking over my shoulder for Kiwi for 2 weeks.
I say, what you been over there nipping?
Right, evidently he is, because he ain't paying no attention to what you saying, Fast Lane.
What you been drinking? Because you've been drinking something.
Not yet. I'm just
you just on the natural, huh?
No, I'm on some edibles.
Oh,
okay.
There we go.
All right.
Well, it's always a pleasure, Mr. Cleophas, but, I'm glad you came on the line, and I hope you checked yourself because you wrecked yourself. So, yeah, you might need to go back and look in that mirror one more time because, you ain't got to look over your shoulder for Kiwi, baby, because when you see me, you going to know I'm there.
Yeah, but I'm running real fast. real fast.
Like a track star.
Well, I see y'all.
All right, you be good.
Appreciate you.
All right, I'm out let y'all.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yes, Cleophas is always coming with something, baby.
Appreciate you.
Call in 515-599-1687. Let us know how you might have checked yourself or even wrecked yourself. It's all out of fun.
That's right. So when you don't check yourself and you on the verge of wrecking yourself, what do you all think? How does anxiety play a part of that? What part of anxiety can be, brought about?
Go ahead.
I think it's a major part of mental. You know what I'm saying? Like when we claim anxiety, it's more of your body sending you a signal telling you that something ain't right with yourself. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we'll claim anxiety instead of paying attention to what our body is saying. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's that spirit within you telling you need to check yourself. You're out of pocket. You're doing too much, or you moving out of your character. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when we thinking it's anxiety, it's our body communicating with our inside, communicating with our physical, trying to let us know that we ain't moving in the right fashion. That's who we are personally. That's our personal warning. You know what I mean? That first mind telling you. So you get overworked because you trying to fight your own body telling you. You know what I mean? That's like when you say it, when people always said, I should have followed my first mind, but you never say I should have followed my second mind. You know what I mean? And that's mental first. You know what I'm saying? That's the conversation within. You're not talking to somebody else saying that until afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And we be fighting against ourselves because, like I say, the Most High, he gave us everything we need. And when we out of pocket, we get warnings. You know what I'm saying? And we ignore it. So when we're ignoring it, it builds up. You know what I'm saying? Before you know it, you all out of control of yourself. But when you in tune with your spirit and yourself, you become one with self, and now you're controlling it. When them bad thoughts come, you find a way to get rid of it. That's why we got to realize energy is everything. So anxiety plays a major part of energy within yourself because we are electrical beings. So we get worked up. That energy get the pumping inside of us, and we ain't releasing it. All we doing is constantly trying to figure it out in our head. Before you know it, it's a overcharge. You know what I mean? So it starts back with self. We gotta learn how to release certain things that ain't good for us, even thoughts. You know what I mean? Certain thoughts, whether it's in your mind or not, don't mean it's in a good place, right?
Exactly,
you know?
But too, a lot of people have to even know what anxiety is. A lot of people don't know what anxiety is. They just claim it. You know, and claiming anxiety, that's like a part of fear. Yeah. Something you're stressing off of. Like Fastlane said, that's your body telling you that, listen, we're heading down that destruction road. Right. We're going into that depression mode. You know, all of those spirits come along with anxiety. And that's why it's prevalent to check yourself on a daily basis, because if you don't, these are all the spirits that you invite into your life. And now you're wondering why you feeling happy right now, and in the next 3 minutes you're sad. Or if you feeling like I'm ready to go kill something, and then all of a sudden you started crying. You know what I'm saying? Those are all spirits that came along. So when you speak things out of your mouth like anxiety, depression, panic attacks, all of those things, like God say, he sends you warning before destruction. Those are warning signs. We have to start paying attention. We have to start being more knowledgeable about things that we say out of our mouth. Because the tongue is the most you better say sword. It. You dig it's what the I'm most saying? Powerful thing, and we can speak life and we can speak death.
Exactly. And when we say it out of our mouth, if you say I'm stressed out, your body gonna follow. Because your tongue is speaking it out into this universe, and it comes back. It's, as much as you put it out there, it's going to come back to you. You know what I mean? You can say, oh, I don't feel good for no reason. You play sick, next thing you know, you're going to be feeling sick. You know what I'm saying? So we got to speak more life into ourselves. You know what I mean? We can't claim these depressions or none of that, because all of those professional theories is something that we have taken on that poisoned our body, because our body naturally heals itself when you put the right things in it. Not the right words or the right, you know what I mean, prescriptions. You know what I mean? It's about how we have to get back in tune with who we are. We have to check ourselves, because we have became programmed to saying, I need medicine, when really it's natural food that we can eat that will heal our body.
And you said something that's very key. Just what you said. Feed the soul. What you feed the soul is what you get out of it. So when you are putting those natural things into your body, you're not poisoning your system, you're not poisoning your mind, then you are actually able to think clearer. You're actually able to function much better. So you said something that was key. What you put in your body has a great effect. You know, it's just like checking up on loved ones, seeing how your family, your friends are doing, you know, seeing if and that's a way that you can tell if there is a need there, or if there is something that they're going through, or whatever the case may be. Well, you got to do the same to yourself. You got to do the same to yourself, and you got to do it on a regular basis, because you're no good to anyone else if it is that you don't check yourself.
Exactly. And that comes with part of wrecking yourself as well. When you check yourself, you probably done already wrecked yourself, and now you have to go back and try to either apologize for something you've done that you know that you might, you know, if you would have just took a minute and thought about it, or if you took a minute and, you know what I'm saying, before you acted out, then, you know, instead of wrecking yourself, then you know what I'm saying, you done checked yourself. But a lot of times we don't. But I'm gonna tell you how anxiety have been a part of my life, and I'm not speaking that into my life, but it's just an example of how anxiety can. I used to have a fear of bridges. I am getting better, but I'm just saying that had played a great part in my life until I start checking myself. Like,
and that
okay,
was her
girl,
brother on the side of her, because we riding across bridges, and she all like, bro, you gonna have to drive right now. I'm not finna pull over on the side of the highway just to switch sides just because there's a bridge in front of us. Is you crazy? You know? So it was me trying to tell her she got to check herself.
I'm getting better.
You know,
I'm
1,000 times I told her she better check herself.
I'm getting better.
Like I do. Well, I'm going to say this. That's how it is when I'm traveling back to Atlanta. There is that area
mountains.
before it is that you get into Chattanooga where those mountains are. And it's like steep. And even the trucks slow down, put their blinkers on and all that stuff. Well, Michelle does the same thing. And I don't care if cars don't like it. Hey, I'm checking
driving
myself.
Miss Daisy, huh? Okay. I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, since that little part get me too. I ain't gonna lie, going into Atlanta, I mean, right before I go, right all through that little Chattanooga, it's like the hills and the oxygen changing and everything. You know you up in them hills. You know what I mean?
And
The
see,
mountains.
That's why I say it's not that these things are not real. It's just how you take them on and how you, what's the word how you
react to
them. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying that these things are not real, because sometimes anxiety can cause panic attacks. But you have to also know the difference in all of these things to even be able to identify, like, okay, this is the time I need to check myself. And you feel what I'm saying?
And that play a major part of taking time out with self and learning. Like I was told, it's not about what you always strong at. It's about what you weak at, because that might be what stops you, your weaknesses,
and I'm telling
not
you,
your strength, because you're naturally going to do what you're strong at by instinct.
Exactly.
But it's your weaknesses we try to avoid facing. You know what I'm saying? So when you start realizing what's your weaknesses, you figure out ways how to deal with it better. You know what I'm saying? Because like certain things, like fear pushes you away from faith. So the more you fear things, that means you don't believe the Most High got you, even crossing the bridges, or whether you're walking outside this door, or whether you're on your way to work. You know what I mean? Like if you really have faith in a higher power, no matter what you call them, then you have to minimize that fear all the way to zero for real, as much as possible, because even with healing, the less fear you have within your body, the more your body can heal. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get away from fearing, because if you really believe he got you, everything that happens is meant to happen. So it's nothing to fear. You know what I mean? He got us no matter where we going in life. Even the feeling within ourselves, that's when you start checking yourself, realizing I got to get rid of these fears. Even if you got to pray on them fears, you have to get rid of those fears, because the more you get those fears out of your body, the more closer you are to your higher power, because then you're moving in a natural form, because he told us we should have no fear. You know what I mean? What are we fearing if we know he got us?
And that's true. That's true. And that's true, because like I said, the more and more I practice, because what it was doing was I love to travel. But if you're in a car, you might have to cross a bridge. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have a choice but to start being able to try to. And the way I did it was I started driving over bridges myself.
What about that bridge in New Orleans?
Well, I don't care. There are my limitations.
See, that's why I said I'm getting better. I didn't say I'm getting better.
Hey, that bridge ain't no joke.
There are my limitations.
That's the bridge that go up and go down.
Yeah,
you know,
that's like a roller coaster.
One step at a time, baby. One step at a time.
Yeah, that's gonna bust you in.
One thing that I do as far as like bridges, because I'm like you know, but I also had to put that to the side, because I know me too. I like to travel, and then especially coming home from the different areas, you have to go across some form of a bridge. And when you, like you said, in New Orleans, we was just down there not too long ago, going across that real high bridge, like you said, that go like this. I happen to be the one driving, so I had to pull I always pull all the way over to that.
Yep. And I ask everybody who I ride with, like, all I'm asking you to do, just do me one favor, is just pull all the way to this way. and just do a little 5 miles over. That's just a 5 miles over.
Right, to get over that bridge.
I'm telling you, because
That's
yeah. So those are just things like
practice mindfulness. Then the more you put that into practice on a daily basis, the more it helps. Like, going to the gym or like doing some type of exercise or meditating or, just listening to some common music or anything of that nature can help put you in that mindset to release. And me, myself, as I stated, I pray and I listen to my gospel music when I first get up in the morning. That gets me ready.
Most definitely. But the thing of it is I don't go over bridges every day. You know what I'm saying? So if I was probably having to commute over a bridge every day, then you know what I'm saying? I probably could. But, like I said, I'm getting better. That's all I can say. I'm getting better.
Hey, baby steps sometimes. Baby steps.
Oh, yeah, baby. We crawling still.
Yeah, baby steps. But, but at least it is that like I stated, mindfulness. When you are mindful.
I acknowledge it. And so when I do know, if I'm driving over the bridge, I've already talked to myself to know that I'm coming up on this bridge and we can do this. Like, I'm being honest. And this may be for people that have fears. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn ways to get over your fears, because I'm telling you, it can keep you confined. It can.
I'm quite sure nobody's walking this earth don't have some type of fear.
Right.
Whether it's losing, fear of, winning too much, fear of whatever it is. You got some type of fear. Fear of eating too much. Fear of, that's real life. You know what I mean? That's an instinct within us, but it's about acknowledging it and knowing how to deal with it, because really conquering your fears plays a major part of your faith. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one of those things where it's like, God, I know you got me, but and you can't say but because it's that don't really mean I got you. You know what I'm saying?
I just got another confession.
Ain't no but
it's really not a but. I'm gonna tell y'all, listen.
There she go with that but.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. These bugs and all that type of stuff, they just really need to get on their own. Little island, because
now let me tell you something.
Everything play a part. I know.
Yes, because hey, Yasha been taking me through this little wooded park, and it was. The first thing I said is, your TT wouldn't come through this.
Baby, I have to be covered.
Y'all been hiking.
But if it is that you want to, get over that, then you have to do it more. You have to be able to do it more.
Well, I be trying to fight the
I'm getting ready to. He wants to go on a camping trip, and I want to. I've only been camping once.
Wow.
And that was when it was that I went camping with Tyree and Woes, with the coaches for the football team. And for me to sleep on that ground, I had to have some type of mattress because I couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, that's real camping.
Yes. And nobody else had an air mattress.
You talking about tent?
Had sleeping
not in cabins?
What? I just stayed in cabins and tents. And I'm going to tell you, look, we done went way south Missouri somewhere, right? Now, this is my first time camping. And we out there. Now, for one, I tell Lyric and Forey, them, like, y'all make sure y'all gather y'all snacks. We finna go to Walmart. They call themselves eating little stuff, hiding little stuff at different spots outside on our little campground. We come back, it's big, giant raccoons at our table, like people sitting there eating everything they left right there. I'm like, oh, man, we blowing the horn, trying to make them run, and this and that. We had to leave for a minute. We come back, they was gone. Our tents was already set up. We set our tents up. So we go inside our tents, and we heard I'm talking about when it got dark, you could not see nothing but the stars in the sky. You ain't see nothing around you. You know what I mean? That was a nice walk to the bathroom. Now they had a bathroom for it. Oh yeah, you had to go to get it in. You know what I mean? Skunks coming up on our little campsite. It was crazy. It was real.
That's why you gotta check yourself before you wreck.
Baby, I'm trying, baby. That right there, it costs me every time to wreck myself. I just can't get it yet, but.
You would not live if it is that because nature is a part of.
It
I'm beginning to
is.
understand
And
that
that's
nature
I'm
is a part
checking
of it.
myself because I am learning everything has a part in
Since you got
something.
more power over them animals than you think. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? That's why they say we the beast masters. Because really, those animals feel our instincts. We fear them, but they fear us even more. And most of the time, they attack when we show fear. You know what I mean?
Well,
If you ever trip off this, some of the most vicious pits will run up on somebody, and if that person stand there and act like they mess like, hey, you better stop. That dog will stop and look at him like, you know what I mean? It probably might run the other way or at least stop. Now, me, myself, I ain't saying I'm the best at that myself. I'm just saying I noticed it worked. We the beastmaster. So just like them little animals, them rodents, that's just like that raccoon that came into our house.
Like the
You know what
squirrel
I'm saying?
that sat on my shoulder.
And you ripped all your clothes off on the block when you should have just knocked the squirrel up off of you.
Baby.
Check yourself.
Hey.
That's what I say. I'm trying.
That's just like when we was walking through the woods. Yasha stated that he had never seen a deer.
Oh, what?
Well, as we walking through the woods, what's to the right of us?
A deer.
A buck.
A buck.
And I'm sitting up
it was
there. I'm all
good.
like, he say, Mama, why didn't you look at him? I'm not getting ready to provoke him. So, hey, we gonna respect each other. He in his surroundings, and I'm just walking through, and I'm going to keep on walking through. I ain't getting ready to mess with him.
They gonna respect you long as you just keep on going. They only attack when you make them feel like they backed in.
Well, you know he the animal whisperer anyway, so you know.
I done had one of the biggest dogs. Hey, sis, did you ever see that dog came on the back porch?
Yeah, that big old dog that looked like a big old.
Sis, this
girl,
dog
he
was
looked
crazy. His
he
head
looked at
was the biggest ever.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna even lie, sis. I don't even know
Was
what
it
to
a
call him.
bullmaster?
He was.
No, he was. I
He
think
was
he
huge.
was made
He was
up.
probably he probably
out
was
of
a
a whole
bull
lot of
mastiff and a
stuff.
big giant
You
XL
remember
bully.
Mike's dog?
He was bigger than that.
Huger than,
He
oh,
was bigger than that?
This
Hey,
dog
I
looked
ne-
crazy,
listen,
sis. He
this
was a
dog looked
hybrid
like
or
a
something.
damn horse.
He was a hybrid, and he used
I
to
ain't
sit
lying.
behind my car every time I
Like
pull
a
up
little
and walk,
pony.
like he was protecting my car, and then he'd come sit on the back porch in the daytime.
Remember, God sends his.
Oh
hey,
yeah, I done had a
God
couple of them come
sends
to me.
That's right. That's right. You
That's
just
right.
never
That dog
know.
straight act like it knew me. We was feeding the dog and everything.
You,
Me
I
and
told
Q
you,
and Domo.
he sits milk out for the caddies, food out for the doggies.
Well, see, that's why
We got
hey,
monkeys
that's one of
swinging
the
through the
topics.
trees.
Check yourself before you check yourself. Some things
I'm
ain't good
telling you.
for you.
Yeah.
So you gotta know. Hey, gotta know when to
him
walk
and all
away.
his little animal whispers, baby. I guess they keep it calm and keep it controlled over there. So I ain't complaining,
Yeah,
baby.
you don't see
I
no
ain't. I
raccoons or
don't.
possums coming through there. None of that.
I don't. So I ain't
Indeed.
complaining at all, baby. Cause I'm telling you,
the animals. I mean,
I
what?
done left my house 2 or 3 times for months in. Cause the animals.
Well, that's what I say about some of the little crawly things. I don't like bugs and all of that stuff neither. So you know they'll be to ran me out of my house if I see a good little video.
It's not a
of
game.
them. So
It's not a game.
that's right.
But
I have
hey.
to check myself before I wreck
Yeah.
myself because if I see one, I end up running into a wall or something like
Listen,
that.
get out my head because I was finna tell you about that. This is another time I wrecked myself, but I really wrecked myself because, baby, I hit that wall like, bam!
What was that?
I was trying to run for, I think it was them big old cockroach things. Baby, that thing must have flew through my ear, across my ear, and I must have said, and turned around and said, bow, right into the wall. And I said, blam. So for real, like you really gotta check yourself because you can wreck yourself on a lot of things. And hey, it's real. We laughing and we joking and because that's what it's about. It's not always about being serious, but the things that we are talking about is serious. But even through the seriousness, we can laugh.
It's like self-love. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we think self-love is always a soft gift or somebody pampering you or you pampering yourself. Sometimes pampering yourself is letting go. You know what I mean? Because that release, you feel so good once you let go of what certain things you can't change. You know what I mean? That's why one prayer my mama taught me years ago as a kid, it always stuck to me, and that was that serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I can't change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom and knowledge to know the difference. And that's even with yourself. You got to be able to accept certain things you can't do. What I can't do, I just can't do. Can't nobody make you do something that they can't do, you know what I mean? And if you ain't got it up on you to do it, you just can't do it, you know what I mean? I don't care what it is. And we carry certain loads trying to please others, and we ain't even pleasing ourselves, you know what I mean? That's a major thing we have to check ourselves. I don't care who you loving or who you with. You got to love yourself in order to love somebody even more. You know what I'm saying? So any relationship I'm in from now on, if you ain't loving yourself, then I don't want no parts, because for real, how can you love me if you don't love yourself?
That's right. Absolutely. And that's so absolutely. True. And you know what? That's a tip. One of the tips that I had for us this evening on how to check in with yourself. You know, habits like checking in with yourself can be, it's a second nature, or it should be a second nature once it is that you establish it. So that first one, be honest. Like you stated, be honest. Daily life exposes us to a lot of stimuli and processes. So many of the situations that require or persuade us to hold in our thoughts or put on behaviors that, you know, kind of obscure our real feelings. You know, what the world, our real feelings about the world itself or anything. You know, we need to take a deep breath, check in with ourselves. Exhale. Try to let go of stressors and anxious thoughts. You know, in times of when that's happening, we just have to be honest. What's going on with you? Yeah. What's the problem? Right. Is that really, you know, is that an attribute or is it not?
And a lot of times, exactly. And a lot of times, if we really be honest, I'm talking about honest with ourselves first. Right. If we ask ourselves a lot of the things that we put off or may reflect on other people, like as if we say we want treat me the way I want to be treated. Right. But honestly, do you really treat people the way you want to be treated? And a lot of times the answer is no. And this is, you know, a lot of times the answer is no. So in checking yourself, you really have to be honest with yourself, because for real, you're not doing yourself a service nor anyone else if you're not being honest with that man or woman in the mirror.
You know what's deep about that? The thing is energy. When I keep going back to energies, when you put out certain energies, like even love, you know what I mean? Like you come around, hey, you show people love, you cater, whatever, you know what I mean? People thought that was, nowadays people starting to think that's a weakness when you cater to other people, when truly that's a major plus. If you ever look back at the elders, the older women, they catered and they got way more out of it. You feel me? Nourishers. You know, I'm just saying they got way more out of it, because look at the love that it created, how everybody drawn to them because of how, I'm talking about my grandma, for example, you know what I mean? She catered to hundreds of us coming to her house. But the love she received was way more valuable than gold. You see, it wasn't nothing she wanted for. It's nothing. If she wanted a whole house built on the back of her house, she would have got it done just because she wanted it done. You see what I'm saying? But you know what she did? She put that type of energy out on her birthday. She was passing out money. You see what I'm saying? To all her grandkids. And I'm talking about several and several and several and several. You feel me? But that was on her birthday. That's the sign of a real queen. You see what I'm saying? Like when you give what you really want, it comes, you know what I'm saying? Because whether they don't appreciate it, somebody will. And you know what I mean? That's what time it is. We got to be around those that appreciate what we put out.
And the thing about it is that you really have to know yourself, because that comes in checking yourself as well. A lot of times you are the person you are, but you portraying something else because you're trying to fit in. You don't have to fit in. If they're not fitting into your program, or it's not an equal balance, then they just not for you. You have to learn that everything and everybody is not for you. I don't care how bad you want it. It ain't for, and I'm gonna say this, unless it's something that's trying to get you to that goal that you already done set. That's the only time that hunger should be that prevalent. But sometimes when you hunger for something or you just got to have it, you might need to kind of rethink it or sit back and look at yourself like, really, do I need this? Should I go after this, or should I just let this go? But a lot of times we don't know how to let things pass us by because we got to be a part of everything. Whatever going on, we just got to be a part. And we shouldn't feel like we have to be a part, because you should know that, for one, you are very unique, and you should not allow everything into your space and your spirit. Because a lot of times when you invite things into your spirit, that's when that wrecking yourself come into play.
True indeed.
That's right.
True indeed.
But, like we were saying, honesty is an essential component of your emotional health.
Exactly.
A benefit of checking in with yourself and acknowledging your genuine thoughts and feelings is where that honesty come in. And that's where we have to get better at, when it is that we are checking ourselves. We got to create a set time for reflection. We can say that we need to look at ourselves, but with the busyness of life, if you don't set a time to reflect on looking at yourself and checking in with yourself, when do you?
Well, that's why I say every time you look in the mirror, that should be your first reflection right there of what you done or what you need to do, or how you need to go about changing. When you look in the mirror, that's your first reflection. You get that before you get anything else.
And you know what's deep about looking in that mirror? When you look back and see women that took time out to get themselves together, they pampered themselves at home. I'm talking about, they sat in that mirror for a while and listened to some music and took their mind away from everybody and, did whatever they wanted to do for themselves. You know what I mean? And as well as a man that take time and he hop in the bath and chill out and relax and, smoke his cigar, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that's very important. That's why I say me time is very important. It's not selfish. It's about, in order for you to be a better person than anybody, you got to be able to love yourself. And that's taking time out with self. You know what I mean? I spend a lot of time. The more I spend time with myself, the more I'm in tune with who I am and my purpose within myself. You know what I mean? Like, other people could see me for one way, but they don't know. We change every day. You know what I mean? I'm constantly elevating the more I take time out with self. When I go to the gym, I meditate. I put my headphones on, and sometimes I don't even have nothing playing. It's just a look to those that's around me like I'm not even trying to talk to nobody. Like, I can't even hear you. I got my headphones on. Whole time I'm meditating. I'm releasing. You know what I mean? Because we dealing with a lot of pressure, so we got to know how to release that. You know what I mean? Taking that.
And this is a really good topic, because I myself need to take, the advice and what it is that we're talking about tonight, and implement it more in my life. I started feeling, some kind of way. So I had asked my son to give me a synopsis or some feedback of what he thought about his mom, now that he was here with me, because we hadn't lived together forever and, been around each other like that forever or whatever. So you do have to be able to take that constructive feedback and criticism as well. So then he started to tell me, and he said, a few things that I noticed or recognize about you is that you are so busy pouring into everybody else, concerned about everybody else, trying to make everybody else happy, or, looking out for everybody else, that you don't do it for yourself. And that's something that I really never have paid attention to, only because I get fulfillment out of doing things for people.
And there's nothing wrong with that, though. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to take that me time, because what you will do is over-exalt yourself. You will overwork yourself. You will be so mentally drained to where you don't really know why you're feeling the way you're feeling. But you have to also know this too, that you interacting with people, those spirits are jumping. Sometimes you sad, sometimes you happy. But like you said, you are doing things that make you happy, which is helping other people, pouring into other people. It's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, the person you see when you look in a mirror is you. And when you see you don't see a lot of the wear and tear. You don't see the point of your body is tired. All you see is that person that makes you, that person that's you're making everybody else happy. But you gotta take that self time. It's because your body get tired. Your mind get tired. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing taken away from what you're doing.
And me myself, like I'm guilty of that too, but I do take time out to, you know, I don't do what I'm capable of doing as far as my enjoyment, things I want to do, and that's something I'm working on now because I feel like life is too short as far as this journey. You know what I mean? And we gotta live it up to our fullest capability. Exactly. Now, whether it's you planting flowers all day and you enjoying that, then do that. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, though, we owe that to ourselves as much. And the more we get that to ourselves, the more effective we is to others. You know what I'm saying? Because self-love is very important because it reflects. It's an energy within that glows out to others. When you love yourself more, other people see it from a mile away, even those you trying to help. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at with it. Like, I gotta, in order for me to help these boys or help my daughters, I gotta show them that I'm here for y'all, but I'm gonna love myself too at the same time, because in order for me to be here for y'all, I gotta keep this engine rolling. And in order to keep this engine rolling, I gotta do the things that keeps me at peace. I gotta do the things that keep me strong. I gotta do the things that give me health, that give, you know what I mean? Because, like, you want to love the world, but if you're not loving yourself, you ain't gonna be able to love the world like you want to. You know what I'm saying? The more you love yourself, the more effective you is for your enjoyment, and that's even loving the world. I get a pleasure out of seeing people happy. I get a pleasure out of helping people. You know what I mean? I get a pleasure. That, to me, that's a hell of a feeling. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to tell people no. You know what I mean?
But you also would get a pleasure out of sometimes being able to sit back and enjoy those fruit of the labors or the seeds that you have put out.
True indeed.
And that's why I say it's very important. See, people will make you feel like that's selfish because for one, people have become so comfortable and so dependent on you because they know you gonna make sure. They know you gonna get up and you know what I'm saying? But what are they giving back?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say a lot of people have to start thinking about the words they use, the things that they're putting out, because a lot of times they not even understanding it. They just doing it or saying it because the next person did it or said it, or because that's what's happening right now. But we are becoming more and more lost with it because who are you? Even looking at that man or woman in the mirror, who are you? Do you really want the same things that you're giving out? You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand that everything that we do put out in the atmosphere, we're not going to get it back from people. We're not, because everybody not going to treat you the way you treat everybody. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things you got to continue to always check yourself.
And you know, like you, a lot of times being a giver, you really don't give to receive. You know what I'm saying? You give because it's in you. Some of us are examples of how we supposed to be. You know what I mean? He told us, like, you give and you shall receive. You know what I mean? The same way, like, when you bless, you could bless a stranger sometime, and then you be wondering how them blessings keep rolling. You know what I mean? That's one thing I done realized too, though. Like, it's a math to all of this. You know what I mean? And I don't do things to receive things, but I realize, like, if we talking about we leading by example, you know what I'm saying? I done had days where I didn't have it. So it's days where I'm seeing somebody and acting like they thirsty. I don't care if I don't know them or not, and I give them something. Whether they go get something to drink, at least in my heart, I was hoping I helped them get them something to drink. You know what I'm saying? Now, what they drank, I don't know. You know what I mean? That ain't for me to judge. But in my heart, I felt like I did that part. So where along my journey when I was thirsty, you know what I mean? I was hoping somebody might came along, and maybe somebody did. Maybe that's why that's in my heart to do that and give back. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, you don't never know where somebody at in their life or where they been, you know what I mean, or where they going. And me, myself, along this journey, I feel like my blessings come because when I bless others, you know what I mean, no matter, not just because of that, but I do it because I enjoy doing it. And I feel like I've been blessed in a lot of ways and saved from a lot of things because of that. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't because of how somebody else received it, or they might not even appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But that was on them. But I appreciate the fact of being able to do it, because when I did it and I ain't have to, you know what I mean, I was also being watched. You know what I mean? We be watched in a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? And I'm being thankful, because at times, like I learned that from my mom. I always seen her jumping up for everybody, as far as not jumping, but if her sisters needed her, her brothers needed her, whoever needed her, you know what I mean? And then I sat back and studied it, and I'm like, hey, the fruit don't fall too far from the tree. She got that from my grandma. You know what I'm saying? Because grandma was coming to get us all up out the house. Like, come on, we got to ride. Ain't Liz need us, or whoever needed us. Yeah, whichever one of her 9 children, or her 9 sisters and brothers, you know what I mean? Like, we had to go. We was the kids. My mama household had to ride. You know what I mean? I ain't saying others didn't, but I'm just saying I know we was there. You know what I mean? We all at Aunt Carrie house. You know what I mean? Aunt Julie house. We had to clean all that. There's days I wanted to be on the block. We down there cleaning out wherever they stayed at. You know what I mean? But
go ahead.
But I'm just saying, like, when I look back now, them are blessings. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful to be able to be a part of those type of things, because, you know, that's what made us the people we are now. That's what made our mama who she is and everything. You know what I mean? Them the ones that shine that light. We give out certain things we don't get back. But then they wonder why we had a fountain of youth. You know what I'm saying? He picking us up every time we fall. And not to be arrogant, but he always do, you know?
Exactly. And I'm going to say this, though, you know, and it ain't getting off the subject, but maybe a little bit is, but it's still tying into it. And this is just my opinion. I just feel like a lot of our younger youth generations, they don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, they big mamas and they nanas is 30, 40 years old. You know, and that ain't nothing knocking them as far as being a young grandmother. What I'm saying is that a lot of them didn't have those Grandma Rosies. You know what I'm saying? Or those big mamas, or, you know what I'm saying, to teach them where to go down from generation to generation to generation. So, you know what I'm saying? We just picking up from, you know, social media, or, you know what I'm saying?
We gotta bring it back then. That's what that sounds like.
You know what
we gotta make a place. We gotta make a place that them kids know they could come to.
Exactly.
As far as whether they calling their aunties, their uncles, their grandmas, their grandfathers, you know what I mean? Like, whoever, you got to be that call away. And a lot of times, like, especially where these kids at night, they really don't know they got that call away. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't use it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a pleasure for us to being able to sit up under our uncles or our aunties, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a pleasure, you know what I'm saying? And
like, we was trying to soak up game, soak up knowledge.
Man,
you know what
I'm talking about
saying?
being a sponge.
But these kids of today, they don't think about that. They think that society and what's out there gonna give them everything they need as opposed.
That's why they gotta check themselves before they wreck
themselves, as opposed to getting up under their family, learning their heritage, learning where they come from. Knowing, like, yeah, my uncle, my auntie, my grandma, my this, my that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they stood on this and taking it and bringing it to the up to date. You feel what I'm saying? But they feel like we just got to strictly up to date, and that's what it is. And you know what I'm saying? We lost. Like, listen,
you know,
what is this, Generation Z or whatever they calling it? Like, you know what I'm saying?
But
they supposed to be the ones who take care of us when we get older. But
you know what was the major detachment? See, a lot of people got detached from knowing where we came from.
That's what I'm saying.
Knowing where you came from play a major part of knowing where you're going. You see what I'm saying? And when I say that, like they ain't interested in where they came from. So not knowing where they came from, they don't know how to get where they going. You see what I'm saying? Right. They gonna go through the same thing because they didn't know that we had overcame certain things that they didn't even have to go through. You see what I'm saying? When the example was set in front of you, you're supposed to learn from that. You see what I'm saying? Not ignore it. Not even try to outthink it. Learn from it. You see what I'm saying? That's that sponge you was talking about. But you know what I mean?
That's why they gotta check themselves before, because they reckon themselves. Yeah. That's most definitely what they do.
Hey, I hope y'all tuned in. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about it is why not say it? We don't bring the real. We talk what we know, but we also want y'all to join in and talk with us, because we talk back. Your opinion is just as important as ours is. Every Friday, Why not say it? You know, of course, this is the time where, you know what I'm saying, when the conversation always gets good and we gotta go. But it's always another conversation. You can call in 515-599-1687. You can even reach out to one of us and let us know if you got a topic you want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Hey, talk to us. We talk back.
That's right. Absolutely. This has been another awesome, amazing topic, and we hope that we were able to reach someone, not just the season, but also the generations that's coming up behind the season, our youth, our younger people. We want you all to be involved with this because we're hoping that you take something away from it as well. So, hey, join in with Why Not Say It every Friday, 8 p.m. for 1 hour. Get in on these topics because they're really helpful, really helpful.
And if you have a topic, get us. We're going to talk about it. Till the next time.
In the building.
That's right.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know what I mean? Look at that man in the mirror. You know what I mean? Before you blame anybody else, like my mama always said, when you point one finger at everybody else, it's 4 more pointing back at you. You know what I mean? Check your motherfucking self.
Before you wreck your motherfucking self. And we out of here. Love y'all long time. Shout out to all of our tune in and our supporters.
Yeah. Chickity, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Over broken bridges in the slums where when you're broke it's like the hope is missing. And the hope came when we stepped on the pitcher's mound and started pitching. Went from baseball